Oh, that's not the right one. There we are. Hello. Alrighty, we're playing something different. I've never even touched this game. I'm extremely curious. This game is called Ghostwire Tokyo Prelude. I'm not sure what's gonna happen, but it looked interesting. That's some Slenderman type stuff right there, that's for sure. And that's like straight out of it. Corrupted case file. Fair enough. New game. Alrighty. Rinko? God damn it, Rinko! Erica? No one wants to talk about it, but it's all that's on anybody's mind these days. Mysterious things are happening all around Shibuya. Sightings, attacks, disappearances, fear. How is a kid supposed to be a kid in times like these? But honestly, Ryota never really was like most kids. He's not usually glued to his phone all day. Wait a second. Why did that play? I don't... I just love it. For 10 seconds I thought this was actually coming from the freaking game. Ryota's concerns bring him to a mysterious case file posted online. It's titled The Kirigoka Vanishing. He reads it to himself the best he can. Totally. Having tracked another report of the dark fog to the area, I arrived to find it has passed, leaving dreary rain hanging over the neighborhood. Rain isn't dreary. Rain's a good thing. At the scene, all we found were the clothes of a mother and a son, left behind like two molted cicada shells. I don't like that. It's hard to even imagine a parent and her child just gone. Precious lives snuffed out forever. My heart sank knowing that I had failed to protect them. You're a child. How are you supposed to protect anybody? It was the worst feeling I'd ever felt. As if on cue, the rain started pouring down. Heavier and heavier it fell with each passing minute, but couldn't be bothered to take out my umbrella. I mean, like I said, rain's a good thing. Why would you want an umbrella? That's when the obvious culprits returned to the scene of the crime, a group of monsters. They had umbrellas of their own, as if rain followed them wherever they go. I was furious. I brought hell down onto them at that very moment. They tried to protect themselves with the umbrellas, but I just kept pounding on them until they were battered and broken. I was so exhausted I could have fallen over at any moment, but my outer wrath kept me going. As I picked up to leave, I still refused to open up my own umbrella. I just walked away, rain pouring and soaking me to the bone. KK. Alrighty then. It reminds me of literally a different creepypasta. I can't remember the name of it, and it was several years ago that it came out, so I don't even know if I'd be able to find it. But there was a creepypasta about these things that would only come out whenever the rain would happen. And if you were unlucky enough to be around, like to see them, they would just kind of stalk you. It of course ends without you knowing what happened, otherwise it would be less creepy. But whatever. Unable to shake the idea that monsters are all around him, Ryota navigates on his phone to a document called The Marinochi Vanishing. The language is complicated, but he works to understand it. It says, I got a tip on a missing woman from Marinochi. When you've been a detective as long as I have, you tend to build up a network of contacts. The story my contact told me was that they saw the woman one day when the fog rolled in. It blanketed the area, and then poof, she was gone. Times like these make me wish a certain somebody was around. Come to think of it, the fog and these disappearances set the scene for when I first met the rest of my crew. Everyone kept talking about folks just up and disappearing, and I thought it was a load of horseshit. Alright? Wasn't until I met them and until my encounter that I believed. Ever since then, I've been haunted by what I would have once called hallucinations. Turns out being able to see spirits and monsters isn't fantasy movie nonsense after all. Guess I should be thankful, because otherwise I wouldn't have seen through that monster taking the form of the woman. She made a bunch of red orbs appear that chased me around, but I knew so long as I didn't let myself get surrounded, I'd be okay. She was a nightmare to look at, so I put her out of her misery. So you're a murderer? When I searched the scene, I spotted a woman's handbag, found the missing lady's ID cards in there, and I came across some clothes that looked like they would have been hers. They were in a little pile, but the way they had fallen made it clear that her body had just vanished. Not mistaking those whose handiwork it was either, I had finally managed to get my hands on a solid enough lead to work with. KK. And now we're going to the bathroom. Could monsters really live among us? These case files say that yes, they absolutely can, and do. According to this one, a lady called me about a missing person who vanished from the bathroom of her apartment. Usually I'd brush it off as another runaway, but after seeing the crows circling above her apartment, I had a feeling there'd be more to this. The black stains on the front door verified my hunch. It turns out that I'm the only one that can see these black stains. Do you think you need a medication, my man? The lady who lived there and showed me in made no signs of noticing it. She showed me the bathtub and gave me a play-by-play of what happened. Her boyfriend was taking a bath, longer than usual, and so she went to the bathroom to check on him. When she opened the door, her boyfriend was gone, and for a short instant there was a reflection of an old shrine on the surface of the bathwater. I rubbed my finger on the rim of the bathtub, and there was a transparent, sticky, slime-like substance on it, a reflection of a shrine shown on the water surface. I'll need to talk further with my team about this incident to see if these things rang any bells. I purged the black stain on the front door and then left the scene. Poor lady, what will she do now? What can any of us do? KK. Oh, there's another one. Why would it end? In these posts, the kid had found something, or rather someone. Someone called KK has been looking into monsters in this part of town, a believer, just like Ryota. Social media would never lie. There's your mistake, kid. And that means KK is an expert, maybe the expert in all these things paranormal. I mean, it didn't seem like he was an expert. It seemed like he was just as confused as you, like, not gonna lie. There's only one thing left to do. Having pored over every story, post, and grainy photo about local monsters he could find, Ryota prepares to take action. I'm gonna ask this KK guy to help. Just gotta figure out where he lives first. My man. No. No. That's not acceptable behavior. Dear Mr. Investigator Person, hello, how are you? I'm not good and I need your help. Monsters got my best friend. It happened near the manhole. Please help me get him back. Which one? There's literally a billion manholes. Data flies across the screen, seemingly too much. Charts and graphs, maps and mathematical equations, even social media feeds and open case files. Yes, I can tell that. I didn't need you to tell me that. Also, what is going on this screen in particular? It looks like there's little weapons on there, but I'm almost 100% certain. I don't know, maybe it is about weapons. I thought for a second it might not be, but it's hard to tell. Somehow, through all of these screens and all of that clutter, Ryota's message catches Renko's eye. Does it now? Sounds desperate, but it could just be some bored kid trolling us. Calm and confident, Renko insists on balancing compassion with skepticism in her analytical approach. On the other hand, that manhole is within the vicinity of several recent incidents. Maybe he is involved. How do you know what freaking manhole? I can think of like a dozen on my way to work. She knows what she thinks, but she also knows no one can protect Tokyo all by themselves. Trusting your teammates is the only way to keep everyone safe. What do you make of it, Ed? Ed squints and takes a single deep breath as he turns to the screen. He has something to say but holds it back. Technology is easy, people are hard. Sometimes both are hard. Instead of speaking up, he places a small recorder on his desk. He presses play, and as the audio begins to roll, Ed turns and walks away. Dick. I've heard intriguing stories about so-called manhole girls in Japan. vengeful ghost of bullied students said to trick other children into following them into the sewer. What the heck are you guys doing in your free time? What ghost thinks, yes, we're gonna take notes from it and try to get you into the sewer? And who goes, yeah, that sounds like a great idea, the sewer, you know, that place that's just really smelly and has some awful stories attached to it, like gators attacking sewer kids. Just go into the sewer, follow that random girl you don't know. It'll be fine, it'll be great. Sewer girls, they're the best girls. If you're not getting a sewer girl, you're failing. From where they never returned. If any information turns up about such anomalies, I'd be keen to investigate, though I speak purely out of personal interest. It might not be enough to make the rest of my team pursue it without further evidence. So, I'm assuming you recorded this conversation to yourself at some point, right? Did you just, was that the last thing that you recorded? Or is it that easy to navigate to that one conversation? Because sometimes, even when I'm looking through videos that I have to, scroll. Oh, yeah, that one. No, you just had it on the dime. You already thought about it. You just did it 10 seconds ago, didn't you? Why did you need to do it like that? Why couldn't you just say, hey, no, I've heard this before. And no, you had to be an asshole and have it on a recording. Why? Okay, it's safe to say, since you somehow found the time to record something this specific about a single urban legend, that you want to look into it. I'm surprised that you're not more mad. I would have been way more mad. I would have taken it right to him, but that's me. Ed is already engrossed in other work. He doesn't respond. He certainly doesn't notice when Rinko rolls her eyes. He rarely does, so he's one of those people. I don't appreciate you, Ed. You get on my nerves a little bit already. That's not a good start. Probably best we have no idea how you spend your free time, huh, Ed? What are you implying? What are you implying? Eric has been sitting next to Rinko this entire time, listening and waiting for the right time to chime in, and that time is... Want me to check it out? I don't think so, Erica. It could be dangerous. What if something happens to you? What if you become one of the next sewer girls? You look like you'd be of the prime age right now. Seriously, you still don't trust me to go out by myself for 5 minutes in the middle of the day? I mean, to be fair, manholes are usually, not good places to go on your own. Not really good places to go in general, if we're being honest, but, At just 16 years old, Rinko might be right not to trust Erica in something dangerous. But Rinko knows that Erica has shown a maturity beyond her years. She gives Erica an almost sisterly look of skepticism. So... the look of, no, just don't freaking do it. Let's not play this game right now. Just stay home. You know it's not that. Rinko quickly turns back to her monitors and away from Erica. She's totally gonna do it. But for all her maturity, Erica can't quite keep from pouting. Stop making that face. Besides, we've got her very own private detective in this vicinity already. I'll have him take a look. Is Erica getting paid? The stall is brimming as a wide array of customers eat in a relative silence. The only sound they make is a slurping of their noodles. That's not what the noodles sound like. The silence breaks when a phone begins to vibrate upon the countertop. The owner ignores it, choosing to focus on his meal instead. And the phone doesn't care about his hunger and continues to vibrate. Yeah, well, most people press the, decline. Phone wins. The peace and solitude has shattered. There's no way to enjoy noodles. I mean, you can eat and take a phone call. It's not recommended, but it's possible. God damn it. Questions. The silent diner finally glances at the screen. He begins to mutter to himself. I like the dog. Another case. These people have me working harder than my enemies ever did. Can't even get 5 minutes to enjoy a nice quiet lunch. Is it lunchtime? It looks a little dark to be lunchtime. I would have thought it was dinner. Yes! Detective reaches over and presses the ignore button and turns the phone's ringer off entirely. In this beautiful silence, he takes another big slurp of noodles. I told you there's a decline. I might not always be around. Time to see how they do without me. I don't answer phones when I'm busy. I think he's ignoring my messages. I know he'll never win world's most reliable partner, but this isn't really like him. That's because I'm in control of him, man. And I say, if I'm eating lunch, you can wait 10 minutes. It's not his style to turn down a job like this, no matter how minor it might seem. He pulls this stuff all the time. Probably fine. Ed knows what's up. If he is involved, it's hard to say what's possible. It could be serious, Ed. I think it's serious, Rinko. You just want to go outside. A rumor so simple to verify. It's far more likely our friend has already looked into it and dismissed it. After all, the manhole girl. The legend isn't entirely new. Our energy may be better off elsewhere. You're right. We've got more important things to focus on right now. She's totally gonna do it on her own. This time another social media post pops up and grabs Rinko's attention. Reports of a yokai in the form of a double-tailed cat milling about a local convenience store. What's a yokai? Do I need contact? I don't know what that means. Ryota stares at his phone waiting for a reply, but he doesn't receive one. I'm sorry, man. I guess I should have done that. Whatever. With no one to help, he doesn't know what to do. The only thing he can do is wait. Where are you, Mr. KK? My friend is in trouble. Ryota pulls out his notebook and begins to doodle to pass the time. It's raining. Even though it's bright, he draws a child in a raincoat dancing under an umbrella. Unless... Ooh. Oh, I like this drawing better. I like this one so much better. I would maybe get rid of the buildings, but this is gold. Ryota stops drawing and slowly looks up. Someone is approaching from the alley behind his house. Get inside the house. Get inside the house. Oh. Game over. We gotta do it all over again. Okay. Can I go again? Can we go further? Oh, see? Alright. We're just gonna skip. So we gotta press yes. Let me guess, I'll be risking life and limb. That's why you let this ring for so long, just scared to pick it up? You know, the exact day I stopped being scared of anything, the day you stopped being a loner and hooked up with us, so we could have your back. Sure, that works. Besides, I'm not fool enough to pretend this team isn't half okay. If you need backup, you know I'll be there. No questions asked. I actually already volunteered, but right now there's nothing dangerous to be worried about. It's a simple check-in on a report of some suspicious activity that might be connected to these phenomena we've been looking into. It's always the simple cases that go south the fastest. You know what? You're right. Maybe Erica should run point on this one. Sure, she's just a kid, but you're busy, so... Whoa, hold up. Let's not sacrifice the rookie to make me look bad. I'm already out. Send me in the info and I'll get on it. First, though, I need to talk to one of you about something. Which one? You don't just say one of you. You have to give a name. Oh, I get to pick. Any, many, miny, mo. Catch a tiger by its toe. If he hollers, let him go. My mama says to pick the very best one. And you are it. Ed, I'm betting you have a file on this already. Got a file on everything. He does appear to be that person. He had a recording on the drop of a dime. Funny you say it, I have files dedicated solely to listing subjects that I don't have more complicated files on yet. You want me to pull them up? Just give me the highlights, man. I don't have all day to look through your files. Unfortunately, what I know about this legend of the manhole girl, so far is that it's just that, a legend. There may not be anything else to know. It appears to be a story passed around by kids at sleepovers, so it's like Bloody Mary. Wouldn't be the first time something that isn't supposed to be real attacked me in a dark alley with a knife. If you're worried, maybe it's time I'd return to field work. When I wear my hat, I blend right into Tokyo crowd. You look like you'd blend in general. Maybe it's the hair color. You do look like kind of like an American. Maybe it's not. Funny, I would have never marked you for a Tokyo native. Then again, this place is absolutely crawling with tourists, isn't it? I told you look like an American. Maybe more European. Let's be honest. You look more European. You're way too put together to be an American. Thanks for the insights. I'll take it from here. What's your name? We just get question marks. Hey, old kid. Ryota doesn't notice the people passing him on the street. They don't notice him either. He is young, but he is very much alone. That's sad. His focus is centered on the small bit of paper in his hands. After a couple of folds, the paper finds a familiar configuration. Oh, that's cool. How'd you do that? With a head, arms, and a body, it takes shape. A palm-sized person's in his hand. No, that's like either a cross. No, it couldn't be a cross. I'd say an angel. That's probably more accurate. Or ghost. As Ryota inspects his creation, someone who has been observing him from afar steps out of the shadows. Get into your house. What have you got there? Get into your house again. Go faster now. It's the mystery man. Ryota looks up. He's nervous, but clutches the paper doll in his hand to stay brave. That's not a doll. He's not running or hiding, despite this gruff stranger staring at him. Get into the house. Does he have a white van? It's not good. If he offers you candy, you should definitely leave. No need to be afraid. I'm not here to do anything bad to you or your little friend. Gotta admit it, I've been known to carry the odd paper doll with me on investigations. Strange habit, I know. But you get the benefits of a partner without the annoying small talk. How is that giving you a benefit of a partner? They literally can't even tell you anything. Button. Ryota's shoulders ease. He let his guard down as he listens to the detective and re-examines the folded paper. If I were you, I'd still get in my house. I'd be like, I'm sorry, my mom doesn't let me talk to strangers. Detective surprises him with a playful tone. He's rusty, but he somehow still feels comfortable talking to this scared kid. Yeah, you're not making me feel comfortable. Sometimes paper dolls are used for magical purposes. You're a sorcerer by chance? Now's the time to tell me. What? What? So you really are him, huh? Gonna have to be more specific, kid. You're KK, the ghost hunter from the files. You must be. I just thought you'd be To be fair, from this perspective, he'd maybe like a foot taller than you, that's it. They say you solve strange mysteries, right? KK? Maybe. Detective looks closely at Ryota's phone. He sees the social media posts featuring photos of various case files he has worked on, collected in one place. Look, I only use those initials because writing out my name is a pain, and I got too much pain already. I didn't ask. Not your problem, right? Anyhow, that's me, KK, but I'm not a ghost hunter. I'm a detective. There's a difference. KK's demeanor hardens a bit, dropping the playfulness. You wanted an investigator, kid. Well, you got one. I'm so glad you're gonna look into the disappearances at the manholes. Here's the thing. I already did. Made some calls on the way here. There's no record of any recent disappearances. Still got a few friends on the force, so I can dig up dirt quick. KK shoots Ryota a serious look. Not trying to pull a fast one on me, are you, kid? What the fuck is that? It's true. Honest, my buddy's... God damn it. Sosuke disappeared. He hasn't come home since yesterday. Last place I saw him was right back here. Ryota mentioned to the alleyway right behind him. He went down that way. I tried to follow him, but I couldn't find him. He was completely gone. If Ryota's bluffing, he's an incredible liar. A sadness comes over him when he looks back towards the alley. Yeah, he gained a band-aid and everything. KK looks back and forth from the kid, then to the alleyway right behind him. All the alleys are dark, but this one looks like it's never seen daylight. No, not all alleys are dark. Literally, the only way an alley is dark is if the sun's not out. Usually, at least. See any fog when that happened? The moment he disappeared? Now that you mention it, there has been something spooky around, like a kind of fog or darkness, but it came in and then it went. That is oddly specific. Alright. KK mutters something to himself as he eyeballs the alleyway right behind Ryota. Nothing looks immediately out of place. With so much going down in the city, some kid getting lost doesn't exactly seem like front page news. Maybe not for you, but it definitely would be all over the news here. Also, you can't get lost in an alleyway if it has a dead end. And like 50% of the time alleyways do. I'm assuming with the way that we're seeing this, it doesn't. I mean, it has a dead end, so how would you get lost? Oh. Press for more info. Call the kid's bluff. Okay, I totally want to call the kid's bluff, but I don't know how many times I want to sit here and restart, but we're gonna do it anyways. I can't be the first adult you've asked for help. I'm being mean. Fess up. Why has everyone else ignored you? I don't know why. I just think that anyone else cares about Sosuke like I do. Not even his parents. He's such a failure. From the sounds of things, Sosuke had some issues. Sure he didn't run away? The pressure begins to build on Ryota, and it shows. His eyes become glassy as he tries to hold his emotions in, but he can't. No one believes me. No one will help find Sosuke. He'll never survive without me. I'm his best friend. I think he might need his parents before you. That's just me. Not even you will believe me, and you will believe in anything. That's mean. That's mean. Well, I don't believe just anything. I'm sorry, Sosuke. Adults never believe in monsters. Ryota turns from KK and begins to run. Just as he watches Ryota go, KK's phone begins to ring. KK lets out a long, deep sigh as he looks at the caller ID. Of course, it's perfect timing. How's it going? Not great. My interrogation may have been too much. He went elsewhere. So you leaned on him, he got scared, and he ran away. That about sums it up. Yep. Jerk, you should know as well as anyone what it's like to be a young and scared, to need help from a grown-up you can trust. Just didn't want to get yanked around. I don't have the time for that. God forbid you spend 5 seconds helping a kid that might be onto something, I think. Damn, okay, I can fix it. I will fix it. Just get off the phone with me. Ryota comes back. It's not safe here by yourself. I'll help you. As Ryota turns and looks back at KK, something comes over the detective and he softens. I believe you, alright? Just promise to not run away. I need more to go on, kid. Why are you so convinced he was taken? Didn't happen to have anyone else around here? But it didn't happen to my it did happen to my best friend. Sosuke's been missing for 2 full days, and his parents even haven't reported it to the police. Everyone's been looking, but no one can find him. Where is everyone? Why aren't your parents with you? Why are your parents even allowing you to be outside of the house without them, given the fact that your friend just disappeared? You're not real, are you? What about his parents? Haven't they filed a police report? I'm the only one who really cares about Sosuke. I know he needs me. Like, I know. And no one else is even looking for him anymore. Just me. You're contradicting yourself. You literally 10 seconds ago said that everyone's looking for him. Again. And as he pointed out, the parents should be all over this. And your parents should be all over you. He's lucky to have you. Honestly, I'd be questioning him more. What the heck is up with you? You're not real. You're not a real child. It's like when you saw crows circling above the building in one of your cases you investigated. You knew there was more to it than everyone else. Well, Mr. KK, I know there's more to Sosuke's disappearance. I just need your help. Really? Did your homework, huh? I'm impressed. You're more dedicated than most adults I know. Whatever. You remind me of my friend Erica. She lost someone too, and she'll never stop fighting for them either. KK takes another glance at the alley. Alright, show me exactly where this Sosuke pal of yours disappeared. Ryota perks up. So you're really gonna look into it? I'm here, ain't I? I didn't turn around and walk away like I wanted to in the beginning. Let me check in with my team, see if they figured anything out, even though I just got off the phone with them 10 minutes ago. KK reaches for his phone. What's up? We're all here, just waiting for you to call us every 10 seconds with nothing to go on. I just need a quick word with one of you to follow up on what this kid has told me. Let's go with this one. You find something? I know you've been searching all over on your fancy computer. That's not just one computer. That has to be like at least 3. I don't even think you could plug that many monitors into one computer. Some worrying details have started to emerge. The type of details that mean he is for sure involved. This is like straight out of Teen Titans. Social media is starting to fill up with posts about the appearance of a mysterious dark fog. It's been popping up in the neighborhoods with similar data sets to the one Ryota called from, and like the one that you were tossing on your social media about beforehand. School absences are also on the rise. I can't confirm if these represent actual disappearances or just spooked kids trading scary stories, but it's clear fear and paranoia are taking hold. Yeah, well, it could also just be senioritis. It's a real illness, not that in the end of the year you just don't want to be there anymore. Yep, figured that much out. Didn't need you to tell me. Oh, really? You carry a fear and paranoia detector? No, did Ed develop that when I wasn't paying attention? No, I didn't need one. It's just called having a brain cell. Years on the force are what gave me my fear detector. You can't beat experience. Honestly, I feel like anybody would have been able to tell that. But I do appreciate your input, even if I already knew it. Why would you even call if you're gonna just be a fucking smartass? It's time to find Sosuke. Yay! Nothing looks out of place, but things are rarely what they seem. Oh, I guess, there are places he could have gone. I guess that's the illustrious manhole. KK slowly but deliberately reaches out his hands. He's not holding on to anything, but you would think that he is by the way he's moving. Like he's got something invisible dangling from his fingertips. Ryota has no clue what he's trying to do, but he watches closely. However, what happens next can only be seen by KK's eyes. I got special eyes. As KK opens his fingers, a sparkling orb of energy drops from his hand down onto the ground. It ripples like water in a still pond, energy flowing outwards into the world. That's normal. See that every day. Totally. You can't tell me that that's your friend. Your friend should definitely not be that much older than you. A strange trail floats into view as though a spirit has passed through this place. Psychic energy. The trail leads further on, deeper into the alley and out of view. Guess he went that way. Puzzled, Ryota follows KK's eye line down the alley, but he sees nothing out of the ordinary. What happened? I don't see anything. Trust me, kid, it's good you can't see it. There's a power you don't want. This is power you don't want. And you're too young for it anyways. Take a risk like that and change your life forever. This world's a scary place and it keeps getting worse. We're gonna find your friend and get you back to your life. I don't think he has a life. If he does, it must be really pathetic. That's me being a little mean, but like your parents allowing you to be outside when people are disappearing. Suspicious. KK and Renko are in big trouble this time, running like rats, desperate to stay alive, with only a dingy old sofa between them and monsters. We better find another exit. When did this start? Renko turns to KK and sees him holding his head. He appears to be in great pain. Damn, it's happening again? Your body reacting to the enter. What? As KK looks in this room, his vision begins to break in half. He tries to focus, but rather than reform, everything continues to split apart even further. Another hallucination. This world is breaking in two. That be crystallized either. Another form of matter. Sounds like your body has entered the final stages of affinity. From thin air, like phantoms, these horrific visitors appear, surrounding KK and Renko. Damn, we're surrounded. You literally just told me that. Are we in the Matrix? What's going on here? Mr. KK? Are you okay? Huh? Sorry, kid. My mind can be a little hard to control. You just kind of stood there for a little while. Sometimes my memories take my place. Are you schizophrenic? Hate to leave you alone again, but you need to wait here while I look for your pal. Sit tight, I won't be long. Yeah, kids don't typically listen to those types of instructions. A report on Renko's computer set up flashes on the screen. Ed's monitoring software has a hold of something big. The results are clear. Spiritual residue, and it's exactly at KK's location. What is it now? We just received an alert. There's a massive surge of spiritual energy at your location. Hold off on pursuing until we're able to send support. So there are more of you? Can't wait forever for you guys. We might have a missing child on our hands. We got plenty of evidence. I know what I'm getting myself into. I'm a smart being, and I put myself into danger on my own terms. I don't need you. Remember, fog reports are increasing. There's a fear in the streets, and it's time to act. By myself. Of course, I know those things. I'm the one who told you. No, you didn't. I totally knew that in my own. I also, he had it on his social media. I also know how dangerous it's getting out there. This time could be even worse than the last time. What if he shows up? Wish he would. Excited to see the mask snap in two when I put my fist through it. So this is like Teen Titans. It's not fair to ask us for help when you think you need us, then use our own words against us when you think you're too impatient. Act as a team. We're in this together. KK decides to address one team member specifically to make his case. I mean, it seems like the only person that you need to be talking to is the one who's telling you that you're wrong. And if I were her, I would keep fighting you. I'd be like, oh, you want to talk to someone else? Nope. You got me, and me. Deal with it. But you might have a better time pleading with a child. What Erica and I have been through, I don't expect everyone else to understand. Hell, I barely understand it. Here's what I do understand. I take risks so others don't have to because I'm better than you. And yeah, you all do the same thing. That's why I'm proud to call you my team, even though I work on my own. But it has to stop somewhere. A line needs to be drawn. We aren't the vulnerable ones. We aren't the vulnerable ones who need your protection. We're all strong, and that strength multiplies when we work together to help others. As in, when I work on my own, using the information you gave me. You two are so special to me, both of you, and I think I understand where you're both coming from. I just don't care. This thing is torment. Once the power's gotten inside of you, the affinity, it won't let you rest. It's like being chased. We're running from something awful, and I'm sorry that I'm not making sense. I just can't be quiet right now. I have to speak my truth in front of a child who's definitely confused about what's going on and what in the world I'm talking about. I have to support whatever decision he makes, this truly selfish act of peace, to stand still and let it take over you. In the end, I know that I would do the same thing. Let's hope you never have to. I'll talk to you later. I'm in the middle of investigating. Yeah, I totally didn't know that. He never was any good at following people's directions. That attitude of his is precisely what saved our hides on countless occasions. You don't think I realize that? Her smile's talking about KK's attitude. It doesn't bother her. Then why were you It totally does bother you. Oh, freaking Slenderman! Hey, man. I like your umbrella. It's fancy. And the pin. Oh, it's nice. Damn, they're everywhere. I'm assuming you're sewer girl. KK's eyes dart between the two horrific figures, and some incredibly strange glowing crystals that hover nearby. As he tries to speak, KK wheezes painfully. I'm trying to find crystals, but I don't see any. Renko, what would happen if someone tried to touch one of those ether crystals? Your guess is as good as mine. Might give you the power to fight back. Might just make you even more miserable. Who can say? What about him? Does it grant him strength? Renko nods silently. After getting his answer, KK went without hesitation, stretches his hands towards the crystals. Ha! Wait, stop! Stopping's not an option, not for any of us. It could make me worse, but, you know, why would I listen to anything with common sense? You don't know what will happen. It could kill you. It might be better than living, I mean, look at your situation. And those things won't. We're dead if we don't try something. We aren't out of options yet. You've thrown away everything to fight these monsters, same as me. There's not a goddamn thing left to lose at this point. Except my life. Before Rinko can say anything else, KK reaches all the way out and... Can I have it? IRL? So is his friend really that much older than him? I guess it would explain why his parents aren't there. KK follows the trail of psychic energy deep into the dark Shibuya alleyway, away from the glow of familiar streetlights and vending machines. His venture into the unseen brings him to a manhole cover with the spirit's residue flashes with an eerie intensity. The spot is clearly the origin point of whatever spirit is at the center of this mystery. Did they take you this way, Sosuke? KK looks around again and, finding nothing else, focuses attention on the haunted manhole. The spectral vision shows KK a lot more than he thought it might, revealing a glowing specter hovering in a dark and dreary place. The spirit of a man in his 30s, probably homeless. A Jiboku-rei, according to Japanese lore. This type of spirit is trapped into a physical location. Okay, Spectre, what's keeping you tied down there? Nom nom. The Spectre seems unable to answer him, and instead he mutters as if distracted or perhaps completely delirious. Either or maybe both. Spectres aren't especially concerned with politeness or clarity. Or maybe he had his tongue cut off in real life. Neither of us is going anywhere until I get some answers. I need to know, what are you doing here? Specifically at this manhole cover. Why haunt this place? Dude, I died here. I thought it was a kid. Just a kid playing around, just having fun. Alone. I wanted to make sure he was safe. So just being neighborly, eh? Yes. No. Not making a friend. Protecting. There's a difference. But he wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't a kid, though, was it? There was something. He literally just told you that. There was something else. Something lurking in the shadows. Did I die? I think I died. But this isn't what I expected. Yeah. I mean, it usually isn't. What was it? Monster? A monster? Maybe? Spectre points down. Underneath, huh? KK stares at the manhole as though if he just looks hard enough, he'll suddenly see what lurks in the darkness beneath its cover. He doesn't have to see the Spectre nod. No, he's right. Well, it's dead, so. Yeah, you. Erica, she's the only kid I actually know and like anymore. Hey, KK, you need my help? I can be there ASAP. I do need your help, but I can't wait. He literally just said I can be there ASAP, and you're like, can't wait. ASAP means right away. The only one who called us for help. Is he a little afraid of you? What? No. Why would you think that? I mean, yeah. Maybe a little? I think he's more suspicious of your mental state. I'd be. But no, that's not it. Although it'd be a little better if he did fear me. Then I could do my work. Oh, yeah, you aren't really that scary. I think I get it. Let me just talk to him. KK hands the phone to Ryota and motions for him to accept the call. Yeah? Is this Mr. Ryota? Yeah. I'm so excited that I get to speak with you. I've heard that you are quite the investigator. I need help from someone like you. What could I do to help you? Well, our friend who's there with you, he's actually has two missions. Since he's looking for your friend, maybe you could swap and look for my friend. If we share the responsibility, I'm sure that we can achieve success together as a team. I suppose I could try to help you since he's helping me, even though I'm not a detective and he is, and you're probably more of a detective than I am. Okay, but first, can you keep a secret? It's very important and related to this mission. Yeah, I'm the best with secrets. I won't tell you. I know that, but I don't want to tell you. I won't tell you how I know that, but it's true. I'm the best. Sorry. My friend is a cat. I put a tracker on her collar that said my friend is a cat. I did read that right. Put a tracker on her collar that says she's nearby you in the alley by your house. I miss her dearly. I'm a little embarrassed to admit it, but some of my best friends are animals. Your secret is safe with me. What does she look like? Ow, that was painful. She's all black with one white spot and a few white whiskers, and her name is Monet, like the painter. I've given him a rescue mission to find a missing cat and send me a photo of it. But what if he succeeds? Tons of strays here. He might actually bump into one. I could always use more cat pics texted to me, and maybe he'll give it a home where it needs. Win-win. Nothing to get down there and find your pal Sosuke. Now to get down there. I can totally read. Can't you tell? Dirty water splashes under KK's feet as he makes his way through the still darkness of Shibuya's sewers. The further he goes, the darker it gets, but not because of any change in light. No, this darkness is unnatural. In fact, it's not darkness at all. It's tangible. Dense fog made of spiritual energy fills the air. Toxic, paranormal waste coasts the ground and plugs the drains. Ew. But the air itself is rejecting him. The corruption flows between worlds and reaches around him, blocking KK's way. How long has this been building up? Right below our feet. It's like it's everywhere. As KK goes deeper, the Kegari only increases. Kegari? There's definitely something here, and if there's this much corruption swirling around, nothing I can't handle, though. Alone in the darkness, KK summons his power and he puts a disc in, makes a bow tie, hold and trace the shape to clear the sewer out of construction. Can totally make straight lines. Did I do it? I good. Cleanses the corruption, returning the sewer to its normal state. That's better, minus the stink. With the Kigari now cleared, as if they're waiting for a moment of safety, someone appears. It's the little one from It. Sosuke, is that you? No, that's the guy from It. He's gonna try to kill you. Small boy avoids KK's look, turns his back, and picks at something on the wet ground. Splish, splash, splish, splash. Hey, you kid, you okay? Can you hear me? Are you hiding from something? Take a bath, take a bath. Come on, kid, this isn't the time or place. Answer me. I'm not trying to scare you, but you gotta work with me here. In the vast darkness of the sewer, the sound of KK's phone suddenly rings out. The tinny chime echoing back and forth around the hollow space. The small boy in the raincoat doesn't seem to notice. He must be very preoccupied, as one does. I found so. Ooh. My stream keeps getting interrupted. What's happening here? I'm gonna have to look into that. The stream has disconnected. When stream objects export messages with your streams, such as drop rain, lag, and things, or troubleshooting notifications will send you here. Your stream quality is good, but it's disconnected 3 times. Weird. We're gonna try to figure out what's going on with Sosuke before we cut it out, though, so we're just gonna keep rolling on. It's fun. Enough screwing around, Sosuke. Just like that, finally, as if called by his mother to come to dinner, the child responds. He stands up and turns to KK with his dead, evil eyes. You're not Sosuke, you're the monster. KK raises his hand and calls forth an energy that he discovered the day long ago. The day he found his back against the wall, reaching out and touching the ether crystals. Ever heard of the touching the ether crystals? Ever heard of the whatever, weaving monster? Energy surges into KK's hand, green light winding and glowing, charging around his fingertips. The increasingly bright light glows, illuminating the tunnel, and in that moment, standing in the center of the tunnel, we can see this monster, this raincoat visitor, just in time for it to press a child's whistle to its mouth and... At a stranger's fingertips lies KK, now a prisoner. I need my subject to remain calm, or else nothing will get done. Despite being captive, KK flashes the stranger a fierce glare. You son of a bitch. Hello, my new friend. I'm keen to see how useful your vessels turns out to be. The stranger takes something out and holds it in his hands. An amulet, though clearly not simply for direct decoration. It surges with power. He looks from the amulet and back to KK and smiles. As the monstrous little raincoat visitor blows his whistle, he steps back into the shadowy darkness. Running away, huh? But he's not running away at all. In fact, he's only making space for two much larger, far more horrifying visitors to show up and challenge KK. Oh, it's Slenderman and his brothers. I can't remember the name of all of them, though, on the top of my head. I've been waiting to run into you again. Let's go, you bastards. Summon a shield. Damage a single visitor with a wind attack visitor perishes after 2 hits. A talisman that stops visitors from moving. It will become consumed on use. Okay. So I gotta do something? One umbrella visitor is injured. An umbrella visitor attacks. Lightning. The umbrella visitors are frozen in place. Only one sun talisman is left. I don't know. A barrier appears in front of KK. Do it again. Press the button. Did I do it? An umbrella visitor wakes from the sun. Attack him. Get him. Get him. It's injured. Safe, but the barrier is temporarily destroyed. Just do it again. Why not? Barrier. Attacks, but his attack is defected. Barrier broken. Barrier. I just have to take the broken. Just do it again. Just attack him again. That's okay. Injured. You're done. The fight is now over. The sewer is oddly calm again, and KK sweeps the space, looking for any clues that might be left behind. Why would a pack of monsters manifest their evil here? That's where the gators go. But then he sees it, affixed to one wall of the tunnel. A wooden tag, sometimes called the Kifuda. This must be the summon those things. KK reaches out and takes the Kifuda down, but as his fingertips approach it, Paris? Rinko? God damn it, Rinko! Erica? KK feels a big, quick thump across through his body. Oh. When he looks down, he sees someone else's arm stabbing through his chest. It's horrifying. Black smoke rushes out of his body. Tomorrow is darken in the days. Well, burning McDonald's. Have it your way. Looking back up, KK sees a man wearing a Hanya mask. Is it the he? Gasp! As KK comes to, he realizes a gaping hole. Not even a scratch. Totally normal. Sweating, breathing heavy, his mind races. It was a horrible dream, or maybe even a vision. Probably a vision. Foreshadowing and all that stuff. He grips the Kifuda in his hands. I won't let this get away from this. Wait, I won't let him get away with this so hard that it smashes into pieces. Wait, I want it. At the moment, KK realizes he's not exactly alone. Distracted by fury, he missed the approach of someone new. Who's there? Surprised, he spins to face his entity, but before he can raise his other hand, They get pushed in the water. Ew. You're gonna smell like sewer for the next 10 days. KK emerges from the tunnel to find Ryota waiting with the rest of them. You fool, you run into a wall of Kiguri and your instinct is to walk deeper into it when you know you were on your way to help? Listen, you listen. I'm not done yelling at your stupid ass for making me worry about you. Okay, but all of our instruments at HQ started going wild. We broke basically every traffic law in Tokyo twice to get here as quickly as possible. And then we find an open sewer entrance. Like Ryota's peering down in this little dirty tunnel, totally considering climbing down there despite our best efforts to cover for you and keep it busy. Sure, except so we take a look for ourselves. It's corruption in all directions. The whole place absolutely soaking in spirit residue. It's like there is massing an army beneath our feet and you go sniffing around alone. It's not. Maybe let her finish. Worst of all, you arrive stinking but unscathed, having been gone just long enough to have me convinced that you were really hurt down there, that I would have never seen you alive again. The problem with disappearing into a dangerous sewer all alone is that the longer you're gone, after Rinku has asked you to be cautious, the more time she has to consider the things she'll shout at you when you return. Yeah, that's the only problem. The things we've been through together, when you're in danger, it's as if I can feel it deep down, but there's nothing I can do. What if you had died? The thought of being haunted by you, of all people. I almost climbed down there to kill you myself. I'm sorry. I should have waited. Don't you dare be nice to me right now. I need to calm down. I feel this. I have that energy at times. I'm so mad. I just want to keep yelling. Just let me figure it out. Let me finish what I'm stating. Then you can never be nice. Let me be angry and be justified. I didn't hear that. I don't hear you. Safely above ground, reunited with his team, KK turns his attention to the original source of all this drama, his young client, Ryota. You were never gonna tell me, were you? Sosuke isn't your best friend. He's your dog. He's my dog and my best friend. KK steps back nervously as Sosuke tries to jump into his lap, tail wagging. Oh, calm down. He just wants to be pet. Jeez. Who would have thought that such a tough-as-nails former detective would have such a strong phobia around dogs? Don't have the broadcast yet, alright? Scared of dogs. I mean, they can be vicious. Never mind. Don't be scared. Sosuke loves everyone. He does look cute. Maybe you should draw the line at loving monsters and following them into the sewer. There was a dog at the noodle shop. Ryo dogs his dog and gets his face full of licks in response. KK relaxes slightly, seeing how harmless this little dog is, but still keeping some distance. Thank you so much for bringing him home safely, Mr. KK. Mr. KK, what an adorable alias. When exactly did you start going by this new short nickname, KK? I suppose it is a fun ring to it. Not quite as formal as your full name, K. Before we get to the sidetrack, as a lead investigator on this one, you've got some paperwork to do, KK. Not sure what's worse, fighting monsters or filling out these damn forms. It's obvious that you prefer the fighting to paperwork. KK scribbles out a few quick lines, only Ed can read them. Hey kid, this is for you. Ooh, is this a prize or something for helping me find that ghost? Almost, it's the bill. How much is the bill? Like for you, today's work is a pro bono, that means free. Consider this your receipt. I'm feeling generous today. Rita looks closely at the paper in his hands. It says the case of the cursed manhole. Extermination complete. KK. Leaning in over his shoulder, Rinko lets out an uncharacteristically loud burst of laughter. Oh, now I get it. You didn't choose the name KK. Sloppy paperwork chose it for you. That's a lot. There's a lot in this life that we don't get to choose. Call me what you like. Not like I've got any use for a real name these days, and definitely not one of my old names. It doesn't matter what anyone calls me so long as I find that bastard. I feel like we should call you bastard then. KK's gaze looks fierce as though he's recalling a bitter past. Reflected in his eyes is Ryota, who looks pleased to have received KK's autograph. KK's expression softens up in his response. That said, I guess KK is not bad. Oh, is that it? I mean, it is a prelude. I mean, I think that's a fair